So we've been really busy at ReservationKey building new features, enhancing the system, but it's been really hard to keep everybody up to date as to what's changed. So I wanted to make a video that just goes through each of these changes in kind of a quick fashion, just hit on some of the major things that we've worked on kind of recently. First up, we are going to show our new integration with Stripe. We have it now possible to show a dashboard right in your account, which will show all of the payment information coming from Stripe. So here's our dashboard. We can expand this out. And it shows all the payments. It's really handy because then you can see pretty much what you would be seeing in your Stripe account without having to change systems. It's convenient because you could log into or open a payment and see exactly what happened without having to change systems. So here in this case, it failed because of insufficient funds. That's pretty handy to see that. So next up, we've continued working on QuickBooks integration. We've added a few settings, taxes, changed some of the settings in this section. Can map fields a little bit in more detail, taxes, fees, and then to send an invoice to QuickBooks, it's over under the reservations tab, and that will create an invoice in your QuickBooks account right from sending it from ReservationKey. You just select the reservations to send to QuickBooks, and then click send to QuickBooks, and then you can create either an invoice or sales receipt. So next we have a new guided setup section. This is a quick way to find how to set up different parts of the system without having to fully remember where to go to do something in the system. So how do I add a property? Click add property, and it takes you exactly where you need to be to add your property. If you're in rate plans, for example, and you're confused or don't remember how this works, just click guide me, and then that opens up the guide, which will walk you through every critical piece of the section. So that's a really handy way to remember how the system works and get help with finding parts of the system, especially over here on reservation page settings, where there are a lot of settings. You can quickly scan the list and say, okay, how do I change payment method? Click payment method, and it brings you right to the field that you need to be to update your payment method. For new accounts, this is very similar, except we also have a check marks and a little bit of a timeline, so it shows progress with the setup. So next we have built a ReservationKey API, which is under external connections. Click add connection. We've also reconfigured this page to make it a little bit more friendly. Type in ReservationKey, and then click that. You can generate an API key. That would be so that you can connect to the system using our API with a webhook. So this is a page that you create on your server, and we will post a notification to your URL with different activity types. And then based on that activity type, you can then query our system back to get more details. Of course, this is a pretty technical section of our system, and it won't be for all users, but for users that could use this functionality, it will be extremely useful using these webhooks to receive notifications from ReservationKey and then using that information to query us back for more details. API access shows the endpoints where you can then query back to get information based on the reservation ID. And we will be building this out to include availability and property data as well. But to begin with, it's reservation based, so you can query the system to pull back a JSON object containing information about the reservation. Next on our list of items is some user interface updates. So one you may have noticed is we have made this left nav collapsible. So if you are working in this area a lot and need more screen space, just use the collapsed version. Of course, we have the tooltip text and the colors a little bit different to help identify which parts of the page or which subsection you're currently working on. Another user interface I already mentioned the update was the integrations page, and then also we've done the same on our payment methods. So if you click add payment method, it's much easier to see the different types that we offer. We've also updated the look of the Stripe connection and the Square connection, so just easier to read. Under the reservations tab, we've added a new option, which is for nights in range. This is useful if you're doing some reporting and you have reservations that overlap outside of the range that you've searched, but you want to only include nights in the range. So it's helpful just to know, say you're reporting just for one particular month, but reservations started before or after that month, so those would be outside of the month, so you don't want to include those nights. Anyway, that's a new column that could be helpful for some users. Over on the availability calendar, we've also made it so you can drag and drop across many rows, and everything between your start and end drag gets highlighted. So that's a lot faster way to quickly add reservations. We've also made some media updates. Let's say we have a custom field for uploading an image, which I don't have yet, but I'm going to use our user guide or guided setup just to set that up real quick. Add custom field. So next, we're going to add a image upload box. And please upload your driver's license. Some of our golf cart clients especially need copies of driver's licenses. So we'll just use this as an example. Initial width, we'll keep it pretty big. And show it internally. Yes. And it's not required. Okay, we'll just save that. I was just going to show this new feature for image uploads. So let's add a reservation. And over in the image upload, I'm going to upload a image. So now I've uploaded a sample Colorado driver's license, and I'm just going to show these two new rotate and crop features. So hovering over the image, you can quickly rotate it. So say somebody takes a picture with their phone and it comes out at the wrong orientation, just click rotate it and it's done. That's saved and it's back in the system, the correct orientation. Each time you click it, it will save it without needing to do anything further. And say we want to crop the image if the person included too much information. So you can just click crop, and then let's just take the person's photo, select it, and then click apply crop. And now that image is cropped. So that's a pretty handy way to quickly update images that have been uploaded. These same controls are available as well to your guests when they upload their images through the public reservation page. Next up, we have our media library. We also have another somewhat similar control. If you upload a photo and it comes out in landscape when it should have been in portrait mode, you can click on it and then click rotate. That does very similar to the other functionality. It rotates and saves. So you don't need to do any image editing outside of the system for those easy fixes. Next new feature to show you is website tab text messaging. There is a option now to go in the schedule to have a text message be sent out immediately if the reservation is a same-day booking. So here we'll click into our schedule, add event, and then this is the new setting right here, same-day reservations. So if you have important information such as how to access the property that should only go to people that are arriving the same day as the day they booked, then this is a great option to send out a text message just in those particular situations. So I could have mentioned this also on improvements to the interface. It's a lot faster now jumping around on the calendar. You'll see the calendar pretty much flashes up, and this works really well even for larger accounts that have 50 to 100 units. It loads almost instantaneously, so we did a lot of work on the underlying code to improve the speed of the reservation calendar here. And finally, I believe we are to our last new improvement, although I probably left some out, but can't go over everything. Here we are under taxes. Tax report is much faster as well to load, so you can do a much bigger date range, and it loads really quickly compared to before. It took a little bit of time to load. And also, this is a new feature as well. In the tax report, we're showing just 500 rows in the detail section, but it's very easy to export and download a CSV file for all of that information. So that is a quick whirlwind tour of what we have been up to the last month, and we look forward to continuing to improve the system, to work with our clients, and build a lot of exciting new features in the upcoming months.